Here, well, I'm going to bring to the stage now, Larry, the oldest comic in the business, Larry Lawrence.
Yeah.
I have no idea how everyone before me did not have paper. But I may have to use it. It's not a shopping list. Anyway, my name is Lottie, and I may be familiar to you from The Price of Right. Have you ever seen me on The Price of Right? No? Okay. So my name is actually Larry Lawrence, and that's how I came into this earth, with a name like that. Thank you, Mom and Dad, and what can I do about it? It's a little strange for me to be up here because I don't know anyone in the room. I would feel a little uncomfortable. I think I'll be all right. The hat is my gimmick because I've come up with a cure for the high forehead for $5. Ready?
Yeah.
I may punish you and take it off later. All right, so I've been doing this for about 4 months.
Yeah.
Karen, you want to dance? By the way, there's no audience participation, no dancing. Relax. All right, so I've been doing it for 4 months, about twice a month. I'm waiting for my first laugh. I hope it comes today. We'll see. I'm going to be on for about 45 minutes until you laugh. So I just need one favor at 71, and I'm not the oldest. Richard is.
That's right.
At 72. Just do me a favor. 71, you have issues, medical. Mine are okay, but should we need the EMS, just make a little so you can get right up to the stage. All right? Reminds me. Oh wow, I feel like singing. It reminds me that I took CPR. Not to brag, but I took CPR and I got a certificate, but I can't do it on myself. You need a lot of strength. But I'm certified to do it only on dummies, and I've never seen a dummy that needed my assistance, but I go by Macy's sometimes, I look in the window, they seem to be okay. So, let me tell you about my comedy resume. You want to know that, right?
Yes.
How did this guy get up here, right? All right, let me think this through. Letterman, 3 times. That's not it. That's not enough. Saturday Night Live, twice. The great Johnny Carson, once. Now let me explain. In each case, I had tickets. I was in the studio audience. Great time, seeing it up close. But that's how I got this gig. This is a very special night for you now, so let me applaud you. You are all on my bucket list. This is what I wanted to do before I croak, is stand-up comedy. So thank you all. Appreciate it. I have one other item on the bucket list. I don't know. I'm trying, but I'm not poor, but I want to be able to afford one of these ice cream cones with sprinkles from one of the trucks outside, or one of those fancy, ice cream stores. But they're like $9. I used to pay 15 cents. What happened? It was 15 cents in 1962. All right, let me tell you, I'm a grandfather.
Yeah.
I always get applaud for that. And I'm a senior citizen, but what am I going to do? I'm 71, I'm about, halfway there. I accept that. But one of the bonuses is the MTA. Half price, baby. Do I get a seat? Every time they get up and give me a seat, I say yes. Just as I did when I was a kid, my mother made me get up. That wasn't my idea. So the good thing about getting a seat is you have a much better view of the mariachi singers and the break dancers and the amazing New York entertainment on the subway system. Great view. Thank you. So, doctors. I'm making a face already. I mean, I have a bunch. They all make me wait in a waiting room, and then I gotta wait in a little room with no air, and they come in, and it's usually the one does my blood pressure, my weight, and a few things. And the woman always says to me, you're gonna fill in this blank together. He'll be with you shortly. I like shortly. How do they know that? What does shortly even mean? A minute, a second, 5? When is shortly no longer shortly? They're told to say that. So I do have a couple of issues, but they're not terrible. I have some memory issues, but that's normal for my age. So my doctor gives me medication for that, and it says right on the bottle, could diminish memory. That's pretty funny. And then, I don't know if you can tell, I'll ask Karen if she can. My hands tremble. Can you see that? My fingers.
Yes.
Okay. So I have a medication for that, and it says on the bottle, may cause more trembling. I don't know what's going on in this field. But what I don't like about doctors, I don't mind the weight that much. The funny doctors, they're not funny. They think they're funny, and they should be funny. You know, the letter carrier, it used to be a mailman. The letter carrier can be funny. The guy in the deli can be funny. The comedian can be funny. Not your doctor. He's there to extend your life, to help you. I'll give you 2 examples. Years ago, I had knee surgery. I tore the medial meniscus ligament right here, running, and he said, "You're going to need surgery." What? I said, yeah, it's easy. You know, you just go home the same day. I make 3 little holes, so you'll do a little PT, physical therapy, and you go home. I said, well, I was shocked. I said, where are you going to do this? Oh, in your knee. Now, don't laugh at that, please. That was his joke. I have one more like that. This one you might like a little better. So this was recently, so I remember it better. So the doctor sits down and he says to me, man, I was late today. What do you mean? You know, compliant. What do you mean? And he says, I got stuck in the carpal tunnel. You gotta make me laugh. I didn't laugh at that. Some people don't laugh. Tough guy born in the Bronx, as you can tell. Weapons, knives, you name it. Guns. What are those swords called? Those kind of like Tarantino movies, huh? How to machete? 2. But the Bronx seriously was a great place to grow up, especially as a baby boomer with tons of kids, playgrounds. The schools were large. The class sizes were like 35, which was great. I didn't want to know teachers. They didn't want to know me, but I was a good student. It gave you the opportunity to make a lot of friends with so many kids. Halloween was amazing. It also gave you the opportunity to make a lot of enemies. It's going to work both ways, but there were a lot of people. It was great. So I'm going to skip ahead. I'm married, the suburbs, suburbia, kids and grandchildren, and we followed our kids and grandchildren to the magical land of Brooklyn, where we live now. So my toughness maintains itself, right?
Right.
And whatever you hear on the news about Brooklyn, I gotta tell you, I live here. It's not true. I have never seen a mugging, a fire, looting, murder. What else do we hear? It's all made up. But there is one problem with Brooklyn I've discovered. And Richard, you get this too, because I know you feel the same way. Evidently, the drivers in Brooklyn were all absent when they took driver's ed on the day that they talked about what a red light means. So it's dangerous. More dangerous than the looting and the guns and all that stuff. Who's laughing? Thank you. So, where was I?
Red light.
Brooklyn, red light, yeah. So the real trouble in Brooklyn is being a pedestrian. It's very difficult. Pedestrian. You're all pedestrians. PED means foot. It means people who walk. Brooklyn's hard to drive. We're all pedestrians. Let me tell you what's dangerous. It's dangerous to cross the street because of reasons I said. The worst part is the sidewalk. Brooklyn sidewalks are a little cramped, cracked. Sometimes they have these like fences with trees in them, so it narrows the sidewalk. So now you're fighting up against bicycles and worse, motorbikes. On the same sidewalk we walk. And the moms with the strollers, and a woman with a walker, it's insane that they get away with that. So you gotta be careful, like 2-3 times a month, I'm diving into a bush, to the grass, get those thorns out of me. But you gotta do what you gotta do. What I think about that, to sum that up, is like, pedestrians really in Brooklyn need to wear helmets. I'm certain of that. There ought to be a law that pedestrians wear helmets. That's more than the drivers and all that. David, you like that? Okay. Great. All right, let me move on. Hi, Karen. Is that your name, Karen?
Yeah.
You dance? So we grew up with television. Don't think we did. Not that old. It was black and white. One TV per household. No cable meant no reception. So everyone had these rabbit ears. Is this good to show you, this rabbit ears? And, I remember my father saying, can you move it a little? I had to get up from my seat. I'd move it. I'd look at the picture. Ah, perfect. I go back to sit down, the picture was gone. I keep doing it. And the best thing to do, I know a lot of people relate to this, is give it an old smack on the side of the TV and it was perfect. I know when it's about to rain, from the number of times I had to smack my TV, I still feel that pain. You know? But we had TV. And once in a while, my mother, got an electric vacuum cleaner. And she would plug it in while we're watching TV. I think you know where I'm going? She pressed the button. And the TV reception was all static. Imagine watching a ball game, in a tense part of the game. You missed it. We didn't yell at my mother. It was not her fault, you know. But I'm going to tell you my 2 favorite shows. Have you heard of The Rifleman?
Yeah.
Really? A lot of you?
Oh, yeah.
So I loved Chuck Connors. He played Lucas McCain. And the wonderful warm relationship he had with his son Mark. It was a father-son thing. And Lucas stood for what's right. And he had a one-handed kind of way of shooting people. But he wasn't a bad guy. He only shot the bad guys who were threatening the townspeople. And the bad guys, you knew who they were. They all wore black shirts and a black hat. It's some kind of... Wait, what's he know how to fire? You could see it. No choice. So, he had such values that were so positive and warm and like, I'm gonna make some people say, "Aww," in just a second. second. So I watched that show with my father. My father had this habit of laying on his side and watching TV, and I would curl right into him. Father's son, rifleman, his son. Aww. I knew it. So, the other show, I don't know if you heard of this one, Superman.
Yeah.
Really? Has anyone not heard of Superman? Look, up in the sky, everybody. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superman. Strange visit from above. Truth, justice, and the American way. I loved him. Love that guy. I learned a couple of things. You know, he protected evil. He was a good person. The city of Metropolis. Where is Metropolis? Does anybody know what Metropolis is? New York. New York? After all these years. So he didn't need a weapon. The guy was solid as a rock. Bullets bounced off him. He could see through walls. He could fly. He could bend steel with his bare hands. And disguise himself as Clark Kent. That part was a little troubling for me. Because, you know, how could Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, and Lois Lane not get that they were the same dude? Like, think about this. They're never in the same room together. Ever. It was like Superman goes save some people, and then Clark returns out of breath. What happened? What happened? Never in the same room. Same face. Same hair. Same physique. Same voice. What's left? They each wore a suit, but a little different kinds of suits. And the only thing I could think of was this. Right back. Clark Kent wore glasses. Now watch this. I'm Superman. I'm a completely different person. Now, how Lois, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White didn't get that. I mean, they were on 6, 7 seasons. Not to brag, but I realized after the 4th season what was going on. One strange thing that the Riflemen had in common with Superman, when people got shot, they had holes in their shirts, well, jackets, and they were dead. I was afraid to get a hole in my shirt. Am I gonna die? Evidently, in the early 60s, we hadn't yet discovered blood, at least not on television. There was no blood on any of the shows. Tarantino and Scorsese would laugh about that, right? All right, so let me get into this next great topic you'll appreciate. The dentist back then. Remember, I'm a baby boomer. The dentist. So, you know, we ate all the crap. We ate Juji fruits, jujubes, nonpareils, licorice, same stuff I ate now. And I had cavities. Didn't we all? So I would go to the dentist. Hopefully we all did that. It's good to have teeth. So we went to one guy who said to me, I said, you give me something, right? Before he drilled. You want like that? I said, nah, come on, don't be a baby. Every time I hear that expression, I go crazy. Don't be a baby, you don't need that, it's gonna be 10 seconds. 10 seconds. So I complied, I'm sitting in that stupid chair, and he starts, and he's counting. And I'm like flailing and wailing, and he's slowing down. I realize he needs more time to finish the drilling. So after 6, he goes 7, and you get the picture. So we went to another dentist. This guy had a different form anesthetic, which thought might work. So this guy his drill was here, and next to his drill, it was like with an elbow arm, came out of television. Black and white, maybe 10 inches, whatever the smallest one possible was. He said, I want you to watch the TV and focus on that. You won't feel a thing. So we put on a kid's shows, Dennis the Menace, Leave It to Beaver, Beverly Hillbillies, one of those. And here comes the drilling, and I'm happy, I'm staring at the screen, and as soon as he hits that drill, it's like a foot pedal. Same thing that my mother did with the vacuum cleaner. The picture was gone. And I was in a lot of pain. And I researched it. Listen to this. Novocaine was available in 1905. They had it. They improved it to lidocaine in 1949. But this was in the 60s. Why would dentists do that? I think I know why. They didn't want to wait the time for it to get known. How many minutes is that? Come on. 5? All right, how many minutes does it take? Oh, no, wait, I forgot. No audience participant. 5 to 7 minutes. They didn't want to wait. They had an office full of patients. They had no patients. And they made us suffer. But currently, modern dentistry is pretty amazing. We should all have teeth. And as we get older, I've noticed people older than me missing teeth. Keep your teeth. Floss, go to the dentist. It was just back then, it was insane. All right, so I'm in pretty good shape, I think. And I've walked, fast walked, 3 half marathons. 13.1.
Yeah.
At a good pace, never stopped. I like to stop to get water, but you don't have to stop. You can grab them as you're walking by. And what I like to do is pour one on my head, drink the other, crunch each, and throw them on the floor. It's the one place in the world you're allowed to litter. It's just a fun thing to do when you're allowed to litter, you know? But that's not why I do it. I did it because I wanted to. And the New York Road Runners Club, have you ever heard of that? In New York City? Wonderful club, non-for-profit. They run these races all year long. They believe in physical fitness, and fitness of the mind. They work with a lot of children. They give away a lot of money. So I'm thinking now of doing a marathon.
Yeah.
26.2. So I spoke to my doctor. He said, what are you, crazy? What for? Okay. I spoke to my family. They said, what are you, crazy? What for? Despite that, I'm still thinking of doing a marathon, but in a particular way. I think I'm going to drive it. Now think about it. You don't sweat. You don't get tired. You don't get rained on. You're very comfortable the whole time. Here's your marathon. Would that count as a marathon? Yeah. Got to talk to my family and my doctors. All right. How am I doing so far? Bucket list. Okay. So I did that. So we live in an area where there are a lot of celebrities. I mean, seriously, raise your hand if you've never seen a celebrity in Manhattan or Brooklyn. Come on, no one's going to raise their hand. We've all seen someone somewhere, right? And I'm excited. I don't go run after them. I don't go get autographs, nothing like that. But I don't like seeing them, you know, in a restaurant or saw Dr. Ruth in a movie theater. See my share. It's fun. You never know. Turn the corner, there's a celebrity. So I'm walking down the street with my daughter, and I see what I think is a celebrity right in front of me, a little bit like about where you are. And it's an A-lister who I've always admired. So I got to get a picture with this guy. So I say to my daughter, let's go fast. I'll run, you could jog. get the camera ready. Good girl. She always does the right thing. So I run so fast that I pass him and then come back around facing him. I startled him. And I said, listen, I've admired your career for all these years. Just, would you mind a quick picture? My daughter's ready. He nodded yes. It was exciting. He put his arm around me. I didn't even ask her. And my daughter gave me the picture. It's in my phone. It's the wallpaper on my computer screen. Rich.
Oh, you gotta close it.
Okay, I'm wrapping up. Okay, so it's on my computer screen, and she had it transformed onto a T-shirt. If I had it here, I could show it to you. Hold on. So I don't wear it. Right? I don't want to get holes in it like that. So this is me in an A-lister. Can you see it? You see who it is? If you're facing me, I'm this guy here. And this is the great Mr. Matt. That was my day, and my daughter presented the shirt. It was incredible. But you know, sometimes when you meet people, it doesn't sit right. It's like, it bursts your bubble. Because I realized what I didn't know. He has only 4 fingers on each hand. See, a lot of people may have that. It's okay. It's still a great life. He didn't speak. Well, a lot of people can't speak. They sign. And he had this tremendous head. Ridiculous, like encephalitis type head. I had to go to a doc. And then he must have taken a fall over the dugout because his head was filled with stitches. It was sad. So, do I have any time? Or should I just take the applause?
Take applause, baby.
If anyone, it's optional. Cheering and applause.
Let's hear
is
it.
optional.